Good afternoon, my people. What is going on? Wealth Our Way family. Thank God it's Friday. It's Good Friday. It's Good Friday. It is April 2nd, 2021. I am your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I'm here to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys coming to learn, to expand your financial horizons. And I definitely want to give a shout out to my overnight crew, my off live crew who gets to watch this pre-recorded, whether it's during a break at work, riding down the street. Don't ride and drive and look at me, but just listen to the voice, or over the weekend sitting at the crib. I appreciate you as well. So I want to thank you guys, and I want to get into what has been a very hot topic that we've been covering for the last 2 days. I was literally on the phone before I started the broadcast today with an investment advisor at one of the big investment firms. He's a guy that gets paid off of people investing. So he, of course, is trying to be way more optimistic about what the future holds financially than what I'm telling him. But he still had to agree. Yeah, Tank, these economic indicators in the market and these sectors, everything looks overheated. We just saw the S&P 500 cross 4,000 yesterday. Let me tell you something about mental conditioning. Let me tell you something about our desire as human beings to be optimistic. We want to believe that everything's going to work out. We should always believe that everything is going to work out. And let's be clear with what I'm telling you. Everything is going to work out. The world is not going to end when this next financial tumultuous situation occurs. I am not saying that at all. I'm not telling you guys to build up your bunkers and get your canisters to be able to suck gasoline out the car up the street. No, I'm not telling you any of that. What I'm telling you is corrections, crashes, bear markets, whatever we're talking about, they've happened in the past, and they normally catch 95% of the people completely off guard. And they all say afterwards, damn, I wish I would have known this was coming, and I wish I was better prepared. So when people like me, because this has happened before, when people like me start telling you ahead of time, this is going to happen, almost every time they're looked at like they're crazy, because they're normally telling it to you when everything is going well. But here's the difference between now and when other people have said it in the past. Those people I give a lot more credit to than what I'm going through. They did kind of call crashes when everything looked great, and you kind of had to be very tied in and smart and educated on the markets to understand what was going to happen. They didn't have a pandemic that they were seeing all of this money pumped in. Like this one, a lot of people should see this one coming. Like this one looks really, really obvious. No matter how financially savvy you are, if you just think about it, unless you want to, it's called contributory negligence, unless you want, and willful blindness, unless you want to keep your head in the sand and just not even entertain what's going on, you have to ask yourself, how is this sustainable? So that's what I'm asking you to look at. We have a market right now that is selling at an all-time high. It's setting new highs every day. Do you understand how the stock market works? What it's supposed to measure? Because maybe you don't. I was on a webinar earlier today with the people who helped me market myself and market Wealth Our Way. And we were talking about the way I give information out. And they were saying, hey, Tank, you're a pretty smart guy. You're a pretty experienced guy. You may think that you are breaking down the information that you know to your audience in such a way that they understand it. But I'm here to tell you, break it down even more. They don't understand you the way you think they do. And I always ask you guys to come into the comments, to email me, to inbox me, let me know what I'm doing well, what I'm not doing well. When I sit in a room full of financially savvy, market employed people, I can talk, on such a high level. When I'm trying to bring that information to my people, I realize that sometimes I'm talking about things like price to earnings ratios, covered calls, and you guys are like, what the hell did Tank just say? So I always want to hear back from you when something needs to be even further explained, further broken down. With that being said, this upcoming drop is going to be harsher than drops in the past because it's not just going to affect the stock market. It's not just going to affect the credit market. It's going to happen simultaneously as prices are going up. And prices will be going up as currency values will be coming down. So we're going to be in a bit of a pickle for a while. And I want to give you the steps to make sure you're covered. I also keep harping on this because I'm telling you, nothing has been said that I'm saying that's truer than this. I don't care if it's $500, $1,000, $2,000. I don't care. It may seem like a little money in the grand scheme of the world when they're talking millions and billions and trillions. But even the smallest amounts of money can grow wealth if deployed correctly. So I would tell you guys, don't count yourself out. Don't say, well, I don't have enough. You know, I'll use Bitcoin, and I'm not pushing Bitcoin, but when you bought Bitcoin at $1 or 37 cents or $2 or whatever it was when it was in 2007, 8, 2009, Bitcoin is trading at like 50,000 now. And I don't know if it'll sustain that, go higher or whatever. But for anybody who got it at $1 and it's now $55,000, even if they put $500 in it, they're a happy person now. They're $2.5 million. $25 million. They've extrapolated their money in a great way. So please don't think that wealth can't be built with small incremental amounts of money. I just need to give you the education. So with that being said, I think I've done a sufficient job on the last 2 days of telling you it's about to get deep. So while we go into the weekend, let me give you a little bit of optimism and tell you how we can survive this. And going into next week, I'm going to tell you how we can thrive through this. So let's share a screen. What are we talking about? We're talking about how to survive the upcoming financial meltdown. And I don't know if y'all know it or not. You can look in the chats. But my assistant, Renee, her last name is Baskerville. So because I don't know how to take the header off of my screen share when I'm making a Word doc, you can still see all my heading edit stuff up there. And you can see I used her font, Baskerville font. I did have to tell her, though, I didn't like that the Baskerville font is called Baskerville Old Face because she has a cute young face. But this is Baskerville Old Face that we're using right now. I usually use Times New Roman, but I switched it up. How to survive the upcoming financial meltdown. Step one, and this is more important than all of the other things I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you why it's more important. I always go back to my weight loss. I'm constantly losing weight. I'm on my NordicTrack bike now. I rode it for the first time yesterday. I'm about to get on it again today. It doesn't matter what tool you use. It doesn't matter what diet you follow. If your mind's not right, if you're not ready to accept and do the changes that need to be accepted and done, you're going to fail. So when I tell you, before we worry about what to invest in, where to pull our money from and move it to, the first thing you need to do is get your mind right. Fear is it's a crippler. Fear makes people not do things that they are supposed to do. How do you deal with fear? You avoid it in the first place. You don't allow fear into your life. But if fear is in your life, what you have to do, because fear, the acronym that is most famously said, is false evidence appearing real. I like to quote my man Jay-Z whenever I can. And Jay-Z says, I got people telling me lies that sound true. That's fear. Hearing things that aren't real, but believing them as they are. How do we look at something that's a mirage, that's not real, and dispel it when our mind so desperately believes that it's real? Well, we prepare emotionally. And the first thing we do is letter A, step one. We review past corrections. So when I say corrections, I'm talking about other times in the market that the market has went down more than 10%, 20%, 30%, depending on who you're talking to. 10% is a correction, 20% is a crash, 30% is you should be somewhere else and crying. So when you have these drops, look at what's happened in the past. Grab an S&P 500 chart. You can type it into Google. You can see corrections and crashes that have happened in the past, and you can look for yourself. Did we ever survive it? Did we come out higher? I would challenge you to, when you're looking at the time on the map. So I'll go back to 2008. 2008, my son was born. I moved from New Jersey to Georgia. I bought a damn mansion. I started a company in Atlanta. I did everything that you could possibly not want to do when the market's going to go down by 60, 70%, and when a credit freeze happens nationally. But guess what? Pop my collar. I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I've had a great life since then. So you should go back on these charts and graphs, look at what happened, see where you were in your life, and just give yourself the first vote of confidence that this too shall pass and you will get through it. That's the first thing you need to do. Thing two, equally as important, you need to revisit your personal goals. This was the conversation that I had with the gentleman from JP Morgan today. We were talking about the fact that, yes, the market may go down 40, 50, 60%. But his answer was, so what? Now, I know that's a hard answer to hear, and it's a hard, but let me explain what the man was saying. He is 36 years old. He plans on retiring at 67. That is 31 years from now. There has never been a period in the American economy where after 31 years from a given day, that the market wasn't higher than it was 31 years prior. So his thing is, I put all my money in today and it goes damn near to zero tomorrow. I'm confident that 31 years from now, when I need my money, it'll be up. With that being said, revisit your own personal goals. Do you care that okay, let's give you a real life example. Let's stop talking money for a minute. I'm an adult that has children that are old enough to drive. And I give my son the car and I say, hey boy, I gotta be somewhere at 6 o'clock. It takes me an hour to get there. So I gotta leave at 5. At noon, he says, Dad, can I borrow the car and go play basketball with my boys? Son, go ahead. When you coming back? I'll be back at 2. Now he's set my expectation, 2 o'clock. But I don't need the car to 5 o'clock. If at 2 o'clock he's not back, I am pissed, but I'm not harmed. You understand? I'm pissed, but I'm not harmed. I'm not harmed until 5:01. At 5:01, now you've infringed on my ability to be where I need to be at 6 o'clock. It's the same thing with your money. You put money into the stock market, it goes down 50%, you are pissed. But if you don't need it for 7 years, 9 years, 20 years, and it has time to come back, you're not harmed. You weren't going to do anything else with the money. That's where it belonged. It belonged in that investment. It'll come back. The third thing you need to do is research possible solutions. We are here at Wealth Our Way going to go into some possible solutions. But over the weekend, I want you to think about and educate yourself. Okay, what if Tank is right? What if things are about to go to hell in a hand bucket? What type of solutions can I do? What are some of my alternatives? Do I have the ability to move money from my 401k to an IRA? Do I have the ability to buy some real estate? Should I look into this cryptocurrency stuff? What they talking about over there? Oh, interest rates are going up. Maybe I hold off and keep my money in cash because I can get more money in the bank account. These are not suggestions that I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you should research possible solutions. And when we get together next week, we're going to go into the second thing that we need to do to survive the upcoming financial meltdown, and we'll discuss some individual solutions. So with that being said, I hope Wednesday and Thursday didn't scare you so much that you didn't come here today, because today I'm here to tell you we will get through this, and I'm going to teach you how to thrive through it. So with that being said, my name is Charles Tank Harris. I want you guys to come back on Monday for 15 Minutes of Finance. I'm in Clubhouse tonight at 6 o'clock where I'll be covering this exact same topic and doing some Q&A with people. You have the book going across the bottom of the screen, 5 Major Money Moves, 3 Money Must-Dos. Please get that. We're going to start registering for webinars in Q2. And I just want you to visit the website, www.wealthourway.com, because as you know, wealth is not only for the wealthy. Have a great weekend.